Alright. Big baby. Big baby. Oh, fuck, man. Alright. Well, it's been a minute. Alright, fuck it. Well, welcome back. I know it's been a little bit since you guys have seen my face on your screens, so I hope you guys have been well. Fuck. I have honestly missed being in front of camera. I've missed talking to you guys. I've missed making videos, and there's a lot that's happened that I need to update you guys on. And to be honest, I've kind of been pushing off making this video for a while now. There's just a lot that's been going on in my life, and to be honest, this is probably the longest break I've taken from uploading that wasn't meant to be a break. I think, there are a lot of videos that I had filmed, I just never got around to editing. And so today, I just thought I'd sit down and talk to you guys about things that have been happening in my life, as well as what my future plans are. So, well, first, let's just get this out of the way. Yep, it is officially buzz cut season, y'all. I turned 23 about a week ago, and honestly, I kind of woke up and decided I needed a change. I needed something refreshing. I needed something new. And obviously, starting with your hair is one of the easiest ways to go about it. But yeah, I've honestly been digging it. A lot of people have been saying it's a good look for me, so let me know what you guys think down below. But where do I even begin? Well, as you guys can tell, I am back home. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I've been here for about 2 weeks now, and I'll be here until a little bit of early July. But, fuck, I can't even believe I'm gonna say it, but I moved out of New York City. I packed up my entire apartment, and I have concluded my chapter there. And I think the first part of this video, I definitely want to talk a little bit about my reasonings of why I left New York, as well as kind of what led me to that decision. And I'll just say this, I love New York City. It's the greatest city in the world, and I have no doubt I will be back in the very near future. However, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while now, you guys know that I not only lived in my own apartment for the past year, but basically throughout my entire senior year of my college career, I was Airbnb-ing throughout New York. So I was living in Brooklyn, I was living in Upper West Side, and to be honest, I felt like I had learned what I needed to from the city. I had gained all the knowledge, all the experiences, everything that I needed to from that city in those 2 years, and it genuinely felt like there were just so many opportunities in the city, but at the same time, it felt like I had already started to exhaust some of them. And you might relate to what I'm saying if you've lived in a big city like that, or you've been around that hustle and bustle. And I've loved every single thing that I gained from New York, and especially graduating from college and living there for my first year, it really just taught me how to be an adult, how to live in the real world, paying for all my own expenses, living in my own apartment, making my own schedule. There was a lot of freedom that I felt like I gained from New York. But at the same time, I had been living in New York during the pandemic, during a time where it literally felt so open and free and there wasn't as many people. And as things started to open back up, I realized there was a huge influx of people coming back into the city that honestly just made it feel a little bit overcrowded, a little bit like there was too many people. And obviously I can't say anything about that. Everyone moves to New York City for their own reasons, to gain their own experiences. And if you're on the fence or you just moved to New York City, then all I can say to you is have the best fucking time of your life, because it truly is an incredible city. But at the end of the day, the cost-benefit analysis just wasn't adding up. Rent was getting astronomically high. Looking for an apartment was pretty much impossible, paying the same rate that I wanted to. Knowing that I wasn't going to be able to get the same comfort of living that I was having throughout that past year made it very hard to justify paying so much to live in a city. That ultimately, it really only made the most sense for me to pack up my apartment and head back to Dallas. And the fact that I've been here for a couple of weeks now, it really has made me miss being in the city, being around all that hustle and bustle, being able to see my friends just a couple subway stops away. And the freedom, man, like you can literally do anything you want in New York City. You can party up until 6 a.m. if you wanted. You can hang out in Washington Square Park until the sun rises. You can literally do anything you want. And that's like so hard for me to let go right now. It was honestly a pretty surreal experience living in New York City as a 21-year-old. But that kind of leads me to my second life update. And this is definitely the hardest one. But a couple of months ago, I went through a breakup. And if you guys have been watching the channel for a while now, obviously you guys know that Becca was my girlfriend. And, it got to a point where we had a lot going on for both of us. And we felt that it was right for us to kind of pursue our own dreams. And obviously, majority of our relationship was built around New York City. We had gone to so many different places, and honestly, it kind of made me feel like every single memory of New York was tied to that relationship. And it's hard, and that's a big reason why I haven't been uploading, why I haven't had that motivation or spark to make any videos over the past couple of months. I've literally just kind of been heartbroken and healing, and you know, even making this video and talking about this is something that I just never thought I would have to do, and never. Man, fuck. I don't want to do this, bro. At the end of the day, everyone goes through hardships in relationships. And there comes a point in life where you really have to start thinking about your own passions, your own desires, your own goals and dreams. And, if you're at a point where, and honestly, it's taken a lot of time for me to heal and to kind of process everything that happened. But nonetheless, obviously, I wish nothing but the best for her. And moving forward, I know that all those memories we created together will always hold a special place in my heart. And talking about my personal life on this channel is not something that you guys are really entitled to be honest, but you guys have been a part of that journey. You guys have seen that relationship form, so it only felt right for me to kind of open up about this experience. And but nonetheless, I wish nothing for the best for her. And it's the closing of one chapter, but it's also the start of a new one. And that kind of moves me on to my next update. And if you guys have been seeing on my Instagram, I've been talking a lot about this short film that I've written and directed. Especially after the breakup, I was finding it really hard to find motivation to create or find inspiration. So I kind of channel all that energy, all that heartbreak and sadness into this film. And when I come to the realization that I might not be living in New York anymore, I really wanted to end that chapter with a passion project, something that I could invest all my time and energy into and really make something that I was proud of before leaving New York. And ultimately that came into fruition through my film entitled Amor Fati. And the entire process of making the short film was honestly pretty incredible. I had two really great actors that were so great, and I'm very grateful for them for spending their time to make this project with me. We were literally filming over a course of 10 different days. The shot list was pretty insane. The scenes and locations were scattered all across New York City, so it was kind of a nightmare to produce. But ultimately everything came out exactly as I had hoped, and I'm very, very, very excited to share that final project with you. My last weekend in New York City, I actually had an initial friends and family screening, so it was pretty dope to rent out an entire space and to see almost 40 to 50 of my closest friends screen that early film with me in the cast. It was a pretty surreal experience, and honestly, I'm so grateful that I could have ended my chapter in New York on that note, surrounded by my best friends. So stay tuned. I am still working on the final cut. There are kind of some minor tweaks and revisions I have to make before we start submitting to festivals and stuff, but it will definitely be posted on this YouTube channel. Hopefully, I'm giving myself until the end of the month to get that out for you guys. But that does lead me to my last update, and that's kind of like the future of this channel, of my life, of my career, of what I'm looking forward to. And one of the big reasons why I decided to leave New York was that I was talking to a friend, and he kind of told me, is it really a crazy idea if we just made our home base Dallas and kind of started working remote or started working anywhere? And that really hit home for me, because as a content creator, as someone who can literally work from anywhere if I have my camera, laptop, and Wi-Fi, it really didn't make sense for me to just stay isolated in New York City when there were so many other cities and places to visit that I could literally make content from. So once that idea was kind of planted in my brain, it really just started to take off from there. I started to think about, what if I moved to Paris? What if I moved to Seoul? What if I traveled around Asia, Europe, Africa, Latin America? And once that ball was rolling, there was really no stopping it. That's kind of when I decided, I'm not going to look for another apartment in New York. I'm making the process of selling my stuff and packing everything up and finally figuring out where to go next. And, I love New York City. I've said it a million times. I love New York City. I'll be back. There's no doubt in my mind that I will spend another couple of years back in the city. But as a 23-year-old, life is young, man. If there's a time to travel, especially with everything opening back up, it's now. And that really made me think about where else I wanted to go. And for me, a dream city to always live in has been Paris. I've done a summer internship in Paris. I visited there a couple of times, and every time I'm in there, it just feels so magical. It just feels like you're in your own movie. And that romanticism about the city just made me fall in love with it. And ultimately, my last week living in that apartment, my buddy Chandler and I just said fuck it, and we booked a one-way ticket from New York City to Paris. And so right now the tentative plan is to book an Airbnb for a month in Paris, scope it out, see how the vibes are like, and then from there just expand our travel, whether we want to stay in Paris, whether we want to go to London, Milan, Barcelona. There's so many different cities I want to explore and share with you guys, because at the end of the day, that's the type of content I enjoy making, you know, travel, cinematic, lifestyle, vlogs, sharing these new cultures, sharing these new experiences with you guys. You guys have pretty much seen me show you everything there is to do in New York City over the past 2 years. So if you guys have enjoyed that content, then I guarantee you're just going to be more excited for what's to come, because trust me when I say that I'm about to go 10 times harder than I ever have. Having someone that's sole purpose is to help me make these videos is massively going to increase my motivation, increase my productivity, and just make these videos better for y'all. I know I've been slacking. I know I haven't been putting out the best content that I can, and that's on me. I'm gonna take the fault on that. But these past couple of weeks, I've really taken the time to just kind of live life in the moment, take time for myself, away from the cameras, away from the stories and the vlog, and really just live in the moment with my friends and families. So I hope you guys can accept that apology for the lack of videos, but nonetheless, stay tuned, because when I say that I'm about to go crazy with these Paris vlogs, like, it's about to be Chae crazy, you know what I mean? Like, when I was packing up my apartment, I even found my old French textbooks, so these are definitely going to come in handy, especially when I'm traveling throughout Paris. So if anyone is going to be in Europe, definitely leave a comment down below. I would love to get to connect with some of you guys while I'm traveling. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this travel content, so I'm really trying to make it a priority to create that community of people that can intertwine with each other and connect and get to know each other, and getting to finally meet some of you guys outside of the States would truly be a dope opportunity. But yeah, I think that is it on all the life updates. I really have been putting off making this video, like I said, just because there are a lot of things that I didn't feel comfortable talking about. But like I said, I felt like I owed you guys an explanation, especially because it's literally been almost 45 days since I posted. And you guys know how regular I am. I used to be uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There were times where I would go daily uploads. So, you know, taking a little bit of break was not only good for my health, but hopefully it's reignited that spark to get back out and make better content for you guys. But you know, at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the journey, who's riding or dying with me. And like, it's pretty surreal. I just feel like every time I talk to this camera, it's like I'm talking to one of you guys. I'm hopefully going to be able to continue making videos as a living. It's solely up to you guys. So I just want you to know that I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone who checks in on the comments, who drops a like. Like, you might think it's little, but at the end of the day, like, it's what keeps me going. It's what keeps me motivated. So I just am asking for your continued support. And yeah, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what's to come. If you've stuck around to the end, then you're a true OG. And I'll wrap it up by saying, don't stress, finesse. I love you guys. Peace.